is going to be about your Iceman. So this is for the PlayStation 4. We are going to do our test for this guy. Okay, so you come in here, go down the story. For those of you who haven't seen my other videos, I do a 20-second test. You go into a room, you wipe the room, and if you do it at under 20 seconds, you're good. You're solid. So what I'm going to do here is we just come over here to our bazillion room, and we clear it in less than 20 seconds. You come in here. Okay.
Not cool, man.
Alright, and there we go. That was easy. So, for those of you who don't understand what just happened there, because there's so much that went on in a short period of time, we are going to go back into town and I will describe it for you. Alright, so there is a method to some of this madness on. When I come down here and I play as him, okay, one thing I do is I always have the signature. Signature is always the most important thing to make sure you have on your bar. Well, second most. The first one's evasion, second one's your signature. Okay. So when you have your evasion on here, which is snowplow, he basically just dashes in a direction. He'll hit people, but he'll go right through them. Okay. Always make sure you have your evasion. Then you got your signature. Signature was that spinning around thing that he had on him. Always make sure you have that with you. Now, the one thing you need to always remember about him is his build for summoning. Now, there are some people that are like, well, I want to be more into his summoning build. Plain and simple. You want to get through your cosmics, you use a summoning build. You know, you want to fight hard, you use a summoning build. He is built for summoning. Even his guys, he basically has this thing, it rains ice from the sky, and then they turn into summons. That's his ultimate. So always make sure you have that. Now, here's where things get a little tricky. Some people like the icicles I've seen. Here's why I don't do the icicles. So this right here restores 5% of max ice armor on hit. Okay. This is why it's important to actually have some spirit for him. So when he goes and he does his hit, he generates 5% of it. You hit it 100 times, you get all that back. Okay. So he hits about almost twice per second. That's about 10% per second. If you're sitting and attacking a group of enemies, this sometimes will save your life because he's very armor based and he's very summoner based. So he actually has a lot of defenses to go with him. So I see some people use the icicles. 5 seconds after you shatter an enemy, it does that. So you got other stuff that goes into it. It does 10. The thing is it does 10 per second. But if you look at the damage itself, you really have to shoot at it a lot to get to that point, and it's not really worth it. If there is more damage, it's so minute it's barely noticeable. So I would always go with the Chillblade, simply because it restores you. It restores your armor. It makes you a better player in the long run. Ice Slick. Always make sure you drop your Ice Slick. They receive 10% more damage when you do. That lasts for 6 seconds. It also freezes them. Simple enough. 25% of max armor is restored. The duration is 6 seconds. The cooldown is 6 seconds. So the second it comes back, that's why it's like number 2, as you can see, the square on there. The second it comes, I use it. Okay, then we got Ice Orb. Ice Orb has like a stack of 2 charges. When you shoot one off, you shoot the other one off right afterwards. It freezes them, It'll actually prevent them from moving. On top of that, 25% of max armor, 25% stored. Like this guy has so much being able to build up his armor. Just keep building it, keep building it. There's times where I'll be fighting and I won't see it touch any of my health, period, for a certain period of time. Here is the ice golems then, okay? They have damage reduction and all that, which is probably from me doing a lot of summoner stuff, which I will show you in my talents. But I always have this on here for two reasons. One, there's a certain percentage in which your guys come back. And some people are like, well, he comes back on, they'll come back on their own, don't worry about it and that. But there's two things it can do. So you always want to make sure that you have that going. Like they're always up. So the second you see them fall out of play, you bring them back up. On top of that, it's also there that if you're fighting a target and they're fighting different targets, you can throw snowballs at the target you're doing. It'll cause some freeze damage. Right there, the snowball damage. Okay, there's 3 guys there, and it does 25,000 to 38,000 when they hit. So it does a pretty decent amount of damage in the there as well. So they do their Sub-Zero Smash where they're beating them, and then they'll take a second and throw that, which will create a snow aura, which does basically it's freeze damage, but it's not. It works like bleed damage pretty much. It's freezing, but it causes pain. Alright, the other one here that I use is Arctic Wave. Okay, so this has a shatter effect to it that deals energy damage against frozen enemies, consuming the effect. This here is like a shotgun blast. You get in there close enough to a group of enemies, and you just blast them. Now, with your summoning out there, if done properly, these guys here will attack the enemy while you can get in close enough to do this here. Does about 50,000 damage, 33 to 50,000. Crazy amount. So, as you're doing this, just take into consideration, it does that. Now, there's 2 here that I seem to see people do, and that's the Art of Work and the Glacial Wall. Okay. The reason... Oh, I also have the Ice Lance on here, but I'll explain why I have this right after. Okay, so you got the Work of Art and the Glacial Wall. I'll see them do that. There's actually a... Stop talking, Deadpool. Just stop. A move that allows them to turn into ice slicks. Okay, so if you decide to do this here and then the lance, you can actually shoot the lance through, and it causes more damage. It's just something extra to summon, I guess. And the Work of Art basically taunts and immobilizes them, and it has a 12-second cooldown. So if you got something that taunts out there, but the thing is, it's completely unnecessary, and it has a 12-second cooldown on it. Okay, that's why I don't have it on there, because it has such a high cooldown compared to the lance. Now the lance here has a crit hit chance of 100% and has a 6-second cooldown. So every time this thing hits, it may be 22,000 or 33,000, but the crit on it will actually boost it up quite often to like 75,000. So it's actually it's just one of those quick moves you just kind of cycle through, and you want to be fast acting. You want to have your cooldowns constantly out and use the Chill Blade to be able to use its filler. So we're going to go over here to the talents. Okay. Always go with the summoning portion of things, because that's what he is. He is straight summon. And I'll actually find a harder difficulty area to actually show you, because the 20-second thing, he'll just blast through it real quick and I won't be able to properly show you. Right here, Frostbite. Any chilled people get a 5% boost, It also does 2,800. So there's bleed damage to people who have frostbite. So that's definitely a necessity to have here. You could do this, I guess. I've done it a few times, but I find that it's actually more effective to do this, and it causes more power with the orbs themselves. And this here creates more stun capabilities than that. I don't know. I have never actually used this, so I don't believe in the beam like some other people do. It makes it more potent, but Chillblain actually gives you some defenses, and it'll actually keep you alive a lot better. Down here, increases the damage of summoned ice golem by 100%. That's easy to discover here. You want 100% more damage on those ice columns. Those guys are your bread and butter. They're going to do more damage than over time. Not all in one shot, but over time they'll do more damage than Blade. So that's why I said you keep it up and running. They'll be your defense. They'll be your friends. They will kill everything for you. You can probably sit back, relax, and not have to worry about anything because they'll take care of it. Takes all the fun out of it, but that's the truth. And then you got this here, 15% of summon powers. Gains a 5% chance when you hit to summon a Iceman clone. Okay, so you have first of all, that's 15% more summoning power. Again, it's stacking more power. Okay, when you hit, okay, first of all, there's the Chillblain damage. The summoning health is at 150, but you'll get little Icemen that pop out randomly here, and they're really awesome. The duration is 15 seconds. Again, they will help you. Reason it says Chillblain damage is the guys that pop out, they're little tiny Icemen. They'll actually do Chillblain towards any enemy that they see. So, as I said, I'll go to that later. And then, of course, Last Dish Defense. Increases your defensive rating by 15%. Increases my armor by 25%. Increases my health by that. Decreases the cooldown of my ice block. And automatically activates the ice block when I hit 30% health. So anytime I hit 30% health, it'll come up, it'll protect me, it'll do everything that it's supposed to. Really cool thing to have with you. It'll protect you from insta-death. It's done it for me numerous times. I mean, there's the other two here where you can turn that into a melee play. Honestly, I hate the melee power one. I think it's dumb, but some people, I guess, like to do the melee version of him. And then you got this one here. This is what I was talking about when I was saying about Frozen Lance destroying the glacial wall and the Arctic wave destroying it, dealing extra damage to enemies. The effects of summon powers now apply to work of art. I mean, there was quite a bit to it, and I don't know. I'd rather protect myself, because there's bosses here that they'll one-shot you if you're not careful, even with the extra here. So we are probably going to go to... We'll go to Castle Doom for this one. I have faith. So, there's my three guys. They're savage. Alright, so we're going to look at this guy here. Okay. As you can see, that's the damage that these guys do. Alright. Throw down the ice slick. As you can see, they're doing more damage to him because of the ice slick being frozen. But they're just bashing right through him. You really don't have to do much. This part right here is the ice orbs. So we're going to shoot these off. Okay, as you can see, frozen. Okay. Those are the ice balls. Confuses the crap out of them. I think it's funny that I have that little profanity symbol. So as you can see here, by me using the ice plane. It's building up my armor there pretty good. Okay. Now, of course, we got this bad boy. Now, the demons don't normally pop out. That's just kind of a 5-minute thing on one of my artifacts. So, I'm hitting these guys here. Okay. So this right here, then, is the Arctic Wave, where you sit here and shoot. Now, you can see that... Oh, that didn't... Yeah, gotta freeze me quick. There's the Ice Lance. As you can see, the amount of damage it did to all of them. So it's basically a straight shot. Really useful against bosses. So... Okay. Ice Wave. So when you do that, it's, as I said, it's like a gunshot. You shoot it, it does high amounts of damage, and that's that. And then, of course, you got here the ultimate. So we're going to do this real quick. As I said, the summoning. So all these little guys pop out here, and then they find a target, and they will use Chillblade on it and just destroy whatever the target is. So right now there's no target, but they'll stand perfectly still there and take on anything that comes in its path. There used to be a lot more before when there was closed beta, but they diminished it by, I don't know, maybe 10 guys at least. It used to be like every icicle that came down dropped one of those summons. So there you go, that's the power of the build. It's a lot more fast-paced normally. You take your guys there. Was that normal? That I did? Oh no, it was cosmic. Yeah, it's really hard to figure out with him. So that's him in a nutshell. He will go through. He'll destroy everything. I guess that's it for an explanation on him. Now, when you're doing the cosmic trial, though, I would suggest you replace Arctic Wave with Work of Art. Okay, so we would trade out. Let's see here. This one for this one. Okay, and the reason for that is that taunting will actually save your life while you're doing that. It may not be the best damage-wise, but it'll protect you because you're going basically through the hardest possible thing right before you hit Cosmic, and that thing will destroy you. So always make sure you have Work of Art in there to be able to protect yourself, have it taunt enemies. That'll make you better in the long run. So that's it for the tutorial. See you, man, here. Peace out.